Welcome back to the Tim and Steve Show. I am Tim Beard.
I'm Steve Morris.
I kind of considered starting the show saying that, but being like, I'm Steve Morris, and then see what you would do and just throw people off.
Yeah, I'd roll with it.
Yeah. Would you be like, I'm Tim Beard?
No. I would say, I would have
I'm
a comment,
JJ. Woof, woof.
He is laying right next to me. Such a good boy.
He is. He was over there checking out the electronic stuff before we come on the air. As he apparently mocked my $6 cord that we hooked to the TV.
Did he say $6 or did he say $5.95?
I don't know. Steve, what did he say? He speak JJ language.
I don't know. He was sniffing over there, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you just had an issue with that cord, so either he was just smelling you or he was checking out
the bad cord.
Yeah, maybe he heard something. Yeah, because it works fine right now, but if it hits a certain angle or gravity pulls it
Yeah,
out,
it's because I touched
so maybe
it.
there's like a little noise that we can't hear, but he can.
Maybe.
So maybe he was just inspecting, like, what's that weird noise coming from over? Who knows? Dogs see differently than us. They have a lot more rods and cones or something like that.
In their eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Gives them better night vision than we have.
I've been saying for
They have larger pupils.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while I need to get my eyes tested.
Me too. I probably should wear glasses while we're doing this in case I have to read something off the screen.
It's getting bad. It used to be, drive down the road, the signs are blurry, which I had glasses for that like a while ago, but then I'm bad with glasses, and then they get scratched, and then but like, just before COVID, I was good. I had my dentist appointment set up, had a eye exam, all this, and then COVID hit, and everything got canceled, and we just kind of gone crap since then. But now reading up close, it's like, what does that say? So sometimes it's not just because I can't read, which I can read. Some things I will honestly tell you I struggle with, like, what does that say? So sometimes I ask you because I don't know what the word is, and a lot of times I ask you what that says because I can't see it.
It sounds like we need to get you an appointment at the eye doctor.
Yeah.
I need one for reading glasses. I still have about 20/10 vision at distance, so past this point I can see.
See well,
through.
yeah. Yeah, it's getting worse. And then, yeah.
The government overcorrected my eyes when I had my surgery done.
Is that a bad thing, though?
Yeah, because that's why now, well, I guess they say over time it'll diminish again,
Yeah.
the correction.
I don't want glasses.
I had to wear reading glasses right off the bat because I was getting massive migraines from not, because I could see so well from distance, but then up close it was blurry, and now it's getting blurrier. But I have glasses, the original pair that I got like 10 years ago. I still have the same. Well, I have two pair, but I still wear.
See, I don't know. Sometimes glasses, a little pressure here on my head will give me a headache. So sometimes I like want my sunglasses off to take them off because sometimes it doesn't happen.
Sometimes the eye doctor has somebody that works in there that can take these little pliers,
adjust them,
and adjust them out a little bit, so that
just a little bit of.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. You want them to do it though, because they have like a heating solution and the proper pliers,
Right,
and
'cause
the
they're
plastic that keep it from.
you
Now you and I try to do it, we'll just snap them.
Snap them. Like, thanks, Steve. Thought you said this was going to work. Well, yeah, now you don't have any. Yeah, no, I don't know. I hate glasses though. Like, I wore them a little bit, especially driving. See, I had prescription sunglasses at one point. I like those because I put them on and I could see, but it didn't really. It was kind of different than regular glasses. And then obviously people didn't know their prescription. But then I was like, well, I'll get contacts. But then my friend's like, because I don't know about me touching my eye and stuff. I think I could do it once in a while, but you're supposed to take them out every night. But they have some you can keep in. But
I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, she was still saying you really should take them out every night. And I'm like, I don't know if I can go through that operation of like back and forth. And so knowing me,
your hands got to be clean.
Yeah, my hands are all beat to
You're
hell.
always working outside. And
Yeah. Yesterday,
what kind of chemicals you come into contact with.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, my hands are getting a little better, but they're pretty beat up from this job I'm doing. And then I have these nice scratches on my stomach now because I went to catch a board yesterday. Taking a trim board off because I changed a window out and kind of caught the board nails into my stomach. So I have like 2 scratches, like a little hole over here, and yeah, it was kind of a rough day. And I take the window out. I was like, something's not right. I measure everything again, and yeah, the window I got was a 29 by 56, but the hole I had was 35 by 64. And I'm like, I mean, I'm probably going to have to make something work a little bit, but that's like way, way too much. So I run out, grab another window. I found a 35 and like 3/8 by 60. So I was like, all right, I can make that work. I'll just have to raise the window up a little bit because it's an old house, and the sizes from that old house, they don't add up. So, of course, I do this, and that 35 was pretty exact. So I had to take the Sawzall, run down, and like strip down the board a half inch to get the window to fit in there. But I finally did get it in there. But and then just had to put 3 2x4s to cover a 4.5 inch gap at the bottom, which was fine. But I don't know how it must be because I measured the storm window. And when you tear the storm window off, and I took out the casing and all that, the hole was a lot bigger than I expected. So, but it's in. It works.
It's a learning experience, so now you know to.
Yeah. Take the the trim off anyways, and measure the casing. Plus, I did a new install window. Usually, people use replacement windows, but I have the outside of the house. Like the siding has to be redone and everything anyway. So new install windows, there's a lip around them. You can just screw them into the plywood or whatever. Replacement windows don't have that, so you have to screw them on the inside. And I'm like, well, it's just easier the new one. So got that done, and hopefully finish that gable end today. And then I bought strapping yesterday. First of all, if you're looking for something like lumber and stuff, like I totally recommend like go to the Valley, something like that. But sometimes I find myself going to Home Depot because it's all in one building, and it's just easier to find things, and especially like, I'm usually in a hurry. So I don't know what it was about yesterday, but it seemed to be I was in an aisle taking some lumber. First of all, they had no 2x4s. Like they had a cart of them, which someone must have bought. I'm like, there's none. I'm like, I do not have 2x4s. So then I found some that were like pre-cut for walls, so they're like 4 inches shorter. So that way those slide up in an 8-foot wall. And well, I need some, so I grabbed 2 of those. But then these people come over to me like, oh hey, they're the Home Depot employees. Like, I need you to come out of the aisle for a minute because we need to like lift up, they close the aisle down. I'm like, yeah, I'll leave the aisle when I'm done getting what I want. I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing, leave the aisle so you can help another customer while I stand there and wait for that. I was like, yeah, it's not happening. And then it just seemed like so many people there yesterday that just.
Should have stuck with the Valley.
I know. I should have. I really regret, and I need some 2x4s because I have to build another chicken coop. We're supposed to get those chickens tomorrow. And, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to the Valleys. And as I normally do anyway, so I want to support local businesses, 100%. That's the thing to do. But it is sometimes when it's convenient or if it's closer for me, I'm totally guilty. I do go there, so I can't.
No, I've had to go to Home Depot for some things.
Yeah. And some things I like going to Home Depot for, like gardening stuff or whatever. Like, it's all right. Or plumbing stuff, especially because they have a lot bigger selection. If I need a piece of pipe or a fitting or something, and like I said, if I'm right there, obviously I'm going to go there. But we get all our grain at Little Valleys.
Well, gardening stuff, I would say, hands down, the seedlings that I got from Beaver Pond have outperformed any other that I bought, and the ones from Catherine Gardens.
Yep.
So Catherine Gardens, even though it's a bit more expensive,
better.
There's no difference. I mean, there's a big difference in the quality of what you get from Catherine Gardens and what you get from anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I go to like Ocean State, Obashan, and I spread out whenever I have to buy a replacement plant. So anyway, that's my take on it is Catherine Gardens, for its money, gives you the best perennials, annuals.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, just they're gorgeous and healthy. You know what I mean? Like I got some pepper plants that had like some white flies on them, so then I had to like segregate them for a while, treat them, and then even still, when I took them down there to plant, there comes a couple of white flies. I'm like, well, there goes my whole garden.
Hey, if you're segregating your plants, what is that? Does that make you a vegist?
Quarantining my plants. How about that? So they were quarantined.
You quarantined them. That's better. I did see that.
Well, I kept them segregated or quarantined from
Stop saying segregated. You can't say that.
Why? It's
because.
Am I a plantist?
Yes, that's what I was looking for. You're an ist. I see Beaver Pond Farm is Sam, who works at school. He was out picking all kinds of, I think, peppers and different things the other day. So they got a bunch of fresh produce over there. So check that out. They don't-
Nikki goes there and gets our, you name it, whenever, you know, especially in season. We buy a lot of our fresh veggies from there.
You know, you could really help me out, which will help you out. You're on the school board. Sam works at the school. Maybe you could somehow use this influence, okay? His mom, this was a few years ago, made this summer relish with like zucchini in it or something. And I bought some. It was amazing, like amazing. And then I went back maybe the next year to get some. And they're like, oh yeah, she hasn't done that in a while. And I'm like, but I want some. Like literally, I'll pay her if she wants. Like I don't know if she's gonna. If when she does it, if she does 50 cans, like I'll buy all 50 if that's what it takes because it was that good. So maybe you could talk to him like, hey, you know,
We need to bring back, what kind of relish was it?
it was a summer relish, just a summer relish that had zucchini in it, and it was so good, so good. It had like a sweet flavor to it. It was good.
Good enough for you to buy 50 jars of it. And
Of course, I am on zoning board with Ben, who's Becky's husband, who owns Beaver Pond. I could always talk to him too, but I was just trying to,
yeah,
use your influence.
yeah, I don't know. That would probably be undue influence.
Yeah, I wouldn't really
School
get you.
board member
Yeah.
going and doing
But, I mean, come on.
that. I know. You're being
Steve, what'd you do? I asked for some relish from his mom, who doesn't even work at the school.
offered to pay for it.
Yeah, even
In
like
bulk.
a whole case. I would too. Seriously.
I got some stuff to make some bread and butter with a slight spice. I don't know. I just bought a package thing yesterday. I bought some more jars just to make sure that, with everything else that's going on in the economy, that come a month and a half from now when I'm ready to start pickling and canning, that I have
You're
enough
ready?
jars
Yeah.
and
'cause
tops.
You're going to fill this room with tomatoes. Speaking of tomatoes, so yesterday I was telling you how the tomatoes that I got from Kevin and Michelle look fantastic. And the ones I got from Home Depot look okay, While the ones from Home Depot I saw yesterday having little tomatoes on them now.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, oh, so there's some hope. Starting to see a few things in the garden like that. Like my peppers still haven't come up, but you said that takes a while, though, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of bell pepper. I have a row of my seedlings that are less than 12 inches tall. I think I told you yesterday. I should have cut the
Yeah.
pepper off when it was small to help it, because all of its energy is going into producing these peppers. But it's kind of cool because they're all short. I don't even have to support them yet, and they all have a bell pepper hanging off of them.
Yeah, I got to get a little rototill thing like you got, so I can go down the rows later, and because now I'm starting to actually see some weeds that I'm gonna get control of. Problem is some of it, like in the bottom where the onions are, there was a row of scallions, carrots, those in particular. I don't know if they're up, and I couldn't tell you the difference between grass and those. So I told Andrea, like, that's all you. The corn, obviously, I can see it. It's like yay tall. So, and then there's some like squash and stuff, different things I can see, but I don't want to go like, hey, look, I'm getting the weeds out, and those are onions you pulling out.
Yeah, if you plant. So last year, I don't know. My little labels were lost, and I was like, I know I planted something there, so I didn't pull anything up, and I had a bunch of onions, like green onions, and it took them probably about October, September. I realized that's where, I left it alone because I was like, I know I planted a root vegetable or something there, and so I just left it, and then you could tell finally that they were onions.
Yeah, I'm getting these little like tree-looking things coming up, which, I mean, all the soil came from the field in the front, so
I had some acorns or something.
I mean, it had sod in it. But I just I didn't even
today,
spray it.
a day like today, you need to go out there and pull up, because you'll be able to get the whole root of whatever's growing, the weeds that are growing. You'll be able to pull them
Yeah.
all out and just toss them off to the side.
I know definitely this fall when we rototill that. But before, so rototill it. I really want to go through and get more rocks out, get as much of the weeds and stuff out as I can, before we put, manure and stuff in and rototill that in for the winter because it'll just be,
I need to get like a roller. I bet they have one because they have them that go on
They're
the
a
back
roller.
of tractors,
Yeah.
that'll pick up the rocks.
Oh, no.
Have you ever seen one of those? I mean,
No.
I've watched some crazy videos of some farming equipment they have.
Big farms, though. They
Yeah,
got little
well,
gardens.
for the most part, yeah.
Yeah. You just got to pick up the rocks.
No, I will. But
That's
you
what I
know
do.
what I'm saying?
Every
But
time I go out, I'll be like,
like
"Oh,
you can
oh,
go pick up golf balls with like
Yes,
a roller. I need
yes.
something like that I can just push down the row,
We should invent something.
empty it out. I bet there's something out there that we could do by hand to just push it.
Yeah, we should invent this. Or
I'm all about it, trying to invent things.
or someone can reach out to us and be like, yeah, they make one of those. Arbitron sells it for $12.95.
Yeah, exactly.
Woohoo! It's not a big deal.
Should have went around the corner. I was at Obashan yesterday. I got some more.
Did you buy the eggplant?
I did not. I didn't realize they were $9 each. If that had been discounted a
It'll
little
be
bit,
cheap.
that's not being cheap. You got to
That's
think
cheap.
about how many fruit you're going to get off of it.
Eggplant's a fruit.
A vegetable.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Well, let's see.
I don't think so. I think the only fruit that's weird and not a fruit, the fruit that's a vegetable that people think is. What am I trying
You're
to say?
trying to say tomatoes.
The damn tomato. It's a fruit, but in reality, you think of it as a vegetable.
Oh, it is a vegetable.
Yeah.
I always forget how to tell.
I have no clue. This gardening thing's new to me.
Well, I mean, it depends on the seeds and. Well, let's give an answer.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fruit versus vegetable. Fruits are mature ovary seeds of a flowering plant. Vegetables are the edible part of plants other than the ovary seed. Fruits are consumed. Vegetables are more often consumed after cooking or boiling.
Ah, all right. So
Fruits are
you-
sweet, sour, and bitter in taste. Vegetables cannot be classified by, and it's blank.
buy anything really?
Fruits and vegetables both are low in fats and calories and rich in fiber. And that's why it's the most expensive thing at the grocery store. It's the healthiest thing to eat and the most expensive.
Yeah, and they don't want you to eat healthy stuff.
No.
So did you yesterday?
Yesterday, I worked out in the garden until it started storming. Well, no, I went to the dentist.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It went all right. I was a little agitated because used to you could just call a number and then they'd call you and you walk in.
Yeah.
And then now it's the waiting room's open. They don't have the number and then they make you put a mask on. And so I sat there with my mask
Sit.
inappropriately placed on my face. Look sarcastic.
Was it over your eyes?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Basically like up to here. And then every time I breathe, because I don't like rebreathing my own breath and the heat. It's gross. It's disgusting. There's nothing. I feel bad for all the workers that still have to wear them. It's
Yeah.
like you shouldn't have to choose between breathing fresh air and a job,
No.
right? Because a lot of people aren't in the position to say, "Yeah, I'm out of here."
Yeah, anyone in the medical field
They get you
stuck with it.
official, they get you over a barrel.
Right.
And especially like they wear them probably all the time, which I would,
Yes.
right?
Or a
Like,
shield.
yeah.
But, okay, let's think about this. You're in the waiting room. You're wearing your mask. You're saving humanity. You go in, you sit in the chair. You take your mask off because they
Well,
need
that's
to
what I
work
was
in
sitting
your
there thinking
mouth.
the whole time. I'm like, and as the water is spraying back up,
Yes.
all up into the air, as because they rinse your mouth whenever
Right.
they're doing it. I was just thinking to myself, well, at least the other two people in the waiting room that were 12 feet away from me, which they probably sat on the other side because I had my mask on sarcastically, and every time I breathe, I'd pull my mask down and breathe the air. Like I don't care if they're sick. Like I have a decent immune system.
Yeah. You've never even gotten COVID.
I know. Amazing. That's probably because I got something when I was in the military. They probably juiced me up with all kinds of stuff I don't even know about.
You're a superhuman.
No. I would have abs.
$6 million man.
No. You know what I'm saying? But so anyway, so I went to the dentist. The hygienist is very nice, and I think I've had her like 2 or 3 times now. Before I used to have somebody different every time. But anyway, so that was a quick cleaning. I was in and out of there. Then I got my hair cut. I look good at the school board meeting tomorrow night, 5 o'clock.
Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock.
Or I got it to look good for Chief and his surprise guest tomorrow.
Well, we probably won't be at the school board meeting at 5 o'clock.
He's gonna bring the traffic court straight here, and
Hey, that
he's
might,
gonna test your eyes. He's gonna check your registration on your vehicle.
hey, registration's good. It's the inspection that's not good.
Oh,
But whatever.
yeah,
But my white truck got inspected yesterday.
nice.
It actually didn't need anything, which
Surprised you because you were talking about you were probably definitely gonna need brakes.
yeah, because they just did the front brakes like 2 months ago, but the back brakes, he's like, they're getting, But he said, no, there's still like life in them. But
So you must not go to a dealer. You go to
No,
yeah. You
I'm
go
not
to a
going to a
dealer, they'll be
dealership.
like, well, your
No.
brakes are shot.
oh yeah, don't
Overhaul.
even get me going.
I
there.
brought it in for an oil change, and now I need $3,000 worth of work.
Yeah, they've tried that crap with my grandmother. I've actually gone to the dealership with my grandmother because there's a lot of things you can do, and I'll let go. But you want to F with my grandmother, it won't go well. I can tell you that right now. She used to work at Shaw's, and she's had a few days where it's a rough day. She'd come home crying, and like I'd find out about it. I'm like,
Who was
who
it?
did it? Because I will go down there, and you might not have a job. That's fine. I'll just pay you your salary, and you can just do nothing. Because let's face it, you made like, I don't know, $10 an hour and worked 4 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've gone to the dealership before with her, and they tried to sell this bill of goods that was not good, and it doesn't go so well. There's certain lines with me you don't cross. Messing with my kids is one thing to a degree, right? But you mess with my grandmother, you'll see a side of me that you don't think exists. So, yeah. So yeah, no, don't go. I don't go to the dealership. Oh, the dealership keeps calling me because I got a recall on some freaking sensor or something, and I don't know. I don't care. Honestly, I don't
You
care.
should, though. What if it's a safety thing? You don't want to end up in an accident. That's something that they can fix for free. It's their responsibility to fix.
It's true. I get an
You should
accident.
take it and
It'd
get
be
it.
their responsibility because
Will it, though, if they've notified you? And
if it was such a dire need to fix it, then they should have tried harder.
old school. All right.
Yeah. Hey, like my new hat?
Nobody owes you anything.
Nobody
Owes you.
shit. Say it. It's all right. It's cool. So I've been trying, like we talked in the beginning of the show, that I'm trying to keep cuss words out. I've kind of let them slip in here and there. It's very hard for me because you're always on me for saying crap or moron. It's because I'm changing the words that I would use normally and putting those words in that are a little more not PC, PG. Because I don't care about PC. I care about, PG. Gotta be honest, it's getting harder though.
You can't let this stuff get to you.
Yeah, it should though.
You got to remember
Somewhat.
what our purpose of doing this was to inform the town of Newport, make sure there's one place where you can go, at least at the beginning of it, find out what's going
The
on around
beginning, yes.
town. You're doing
And that'll never change.
PR for the town.
But
and
it's when
all
we
of
get
its
to
agencies.
the state stuff and the regular, like the national government stuff is when that's when I really want to
No, that's frustrating.
yeah. And you see things, and we'll talk about some more of this stuff coming up. But all right, so position of the day: elementary school, elementary classroom teacher. I almost feel like we've said that before. Which, if that's the case, then potentially they're filling positions, and we're just getting repeats of these, which would be good. We'll find out tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah, the school board
So
should be
here's-
on their new hires.
Here's something else that I haven't said to anyone yet. Well, I haven't said to someone that I should have said this to. So I put my name in for the school board and haven't told Andrea yet. I probably should do that before tomorrow, before I get in trouble. Well, because originally when it happened, and she's like, "Are you gonna put your name in?" I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, okay, good," or whatever. Because she's like, but then I thought about it, and I'm like, I go to every meeting anyways. I literally do. I've been to every meeting since the election, every single meeting. And I will continue to go to every meeting, even if I don't get on. Either way, I will be there because it's important to me. So it's like, what difference does it make if I go and was to be on it? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we'll see. I think there's other names too, which we'll see what happens. It is what it is. But yeah. See, now I said this, I have to tell her today. I set myself up here to make sure. Maybe she won't care, but lately there's been a lot in my household that's been I'm ready to sleep up here.
Too much excitement going on at the house.
Yeah, there's just so much. Like her mom had a fire, and her mom's been staying with us, which originally, if her mom's house had sold, which it was going to, and would have sold like 2 weeks ago, would have closed. It's been great. She's going to live with us at the land, but like have like an apartment above the garage kind of thing, and which is fine. And having her mom there hasn't been an issue. And her uncle had just started the process of moving in with her mom, which works out well because her dad had just passed not long ago. It'd be good for her mom to have someone there that her brother would be there, and luckily he was like going to be moving his stuff in like the next day, and then they had that fire before that, so he didn't lose his stuff. But my mother-in-law lost all of her everyday stuff anyways because she had been slowly moving stuff out, and so it's been hectic for Andrew because it's dealing with the insurance company, which the biggest bunch of crooks there are, and there's not like with the market. There was one insurance company to deal with, and that was pretty much it. But this one, there's like one insurance company, but there's someone that deals with housing, and there's someone. It's like, so it's all that added stress, and then I don't know. My house is a zoo right now, and me, I'm just trying to work. Like I work 7 days a week now. So do the show, go to work, go to the land, do what I got to do up there. Like just, yeah, good times.
It's kind of peaceful here. My house has always been peaceful, though. That's why Zeta likes to go hang out everywhere else, because it's just the three of us. And as an only child, Zeta could keep herself entertained for so long. And, there's differences between...
I just want to say, so when we do the tortilla challenge this weekend, which I think it's going to be Sunday because your wife don't get back till Sunday or something, I don't know. Andrew's telling me this stuff, so I'm going to remember that comment when we do it.
How peaceful the house is?
How peaceful the house is. Yeah. Wednesday, August 3rd, 5 o'clock for middle school sign-ups for fall sports. And then the next day, 5 o'clock on the 4th for high school. Mandatory, reach out to Jeff Miller. If you can't make it, I texted him the other day and said, I can't make it. No problem. So he understands, obviously, people, we just happen to be on vacation that week. So basket weaving this Sunday. We really should go do this.
The Black Ash?
Black Ash basket weaving.
How much does it cost?
I don't know. Probably not much.
Sunday, 11 to 2, so 3 hours.
3 hours. It's at the Sullivan County Complex in Unity, which it's got to be part of the nursing home. Because the complex, that makes me a little nervous, because complex, I think, county farm, which is the jail, and then the nursing home, but no. So it's at the complex. So I don't know, something you're interested in, check it out. Farmers Market, 3 to 6. And then next Friday, we'll definitely want to check this out. Block party starts at 5, goes to 8. Live music, food trucks, vendors. The farmers market will be going off. Part of it, well, for an extra hour into it. The rec department's going to be doing some backyard Olympics, which will be interesting. And
it sounds like my type of competition there.
It does. We actually should reach out to Shannon and see if we could get her, even call in or come on the show and talk about it. Because last year I think they did this, and I think they had fireworks, which I haven't seen nothing for fireworks. Don't get all, Tim says it's going to be fireworks. No. I'm just saying last year I think they had fireworks, but as part of this, and I might even be wrong about that, but they had fireworks for something. But so this sounds like a fun time. So check it out. Support local businesses, and at this point there should be plenty of produce on the common. So if you're looking for stuff.
Yeah, I got a lot of peppers. I said that before, but I also have hot peppers.
Actual peppers on the plant already?
Yeah.
Really? I'm waiting for my jalapenos still to come up.
They haven't come up yet?
I can't tell. So if they have, I did a really bad job putting them in the hole, because there's some here and there. It's not in the line,
Yeah.
But
maybe I should go there and look at it and show you so you'll know what they look like.
Yeah.
They're easy to spot once you know what it looks like. I can spot the difference between a pepper. That's how I told you I counted my tomatoes yesterday, but I didn't count the ones growing in the aisle. And those are pear and cherry tomato.
Yeah, you probably should
The pear has a different shaped leaf. Anyway.
Yeah, you probably should come up. Constant Common this week, sound investment, 6 to 8. Obviously, no charge. Bring a lawn chair or a blanket. Been a decent turnout every time I've gone by down there. And then the church sells hot dogs and stuff in Florida Dough across the street, and then well, next to the post office, and then sometimes the Good Humor guys there. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, it's been busy. Nikki and I drove by, and I wanted to stop, but Nikki is more of a restaurant, go out to eat type of person than she is go sit out on the common, walk around, and
It has been nice. They have picnic tables out on the common now, and they planted some new trees maybe a month ago. It's nice to see that, and I'm seeing a lot of people actually use those.
I love
tables.
the common.
I love the common.
Just reminds me of the reading about the Revolution as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I totally envision exactly what ours looks like.
The only
Where
issue
people would meet up to decide were they loyalists or were they revolutionaries.
So the only issue I see with the common, and not the actual common, but the little common in the middle, is people from out of state or that are not in the area think that they're rotary. It is not a rotary. And so, I mean, that's been there forever. So before all these rotaries came in, people knew how to drive through there. It was no big deal.
What's a rotary?
So rotary is like what they have in Europe, so you yield and they take out the stoplight, and they go around. Well, that road goes straight on both ways. So if you're coming down Sunapee Street, you have to yield and you have to wait. Or if you're going around that little common, you have to wait if there's a car coming. Some people think, well, I'm in the rotary and go straight. No, it's not a rotary. It's not a rotary. This is why we never should have rotaries in the United States. You should have kept them in Europe where they belonged and stuck with the old traffic light or stop sign.
Well, allegedly it helps the flow of traffic.
Yeah, except when there's two lanes. So you've been to Keene? Probably not. In Keene, the rotary has two lanes. So
No, it's like at the airport.
So what do you do when you're in the inside lane? Now you want to go right. I have to make sure the car next to me is going to do something like that and not go straight, or I'm going to run into them.
Well, some of them that are 2-lane have it where if you're in the outside lane, you have to exit.
Yeah,
Someone
no,
coming
Keene didn't
up.
do that. And that's why when Keene first put that in there, that first week, they had like 50 accidents. And I'm not exaggerating that. Actually, there might be a lower number than what it was actually. You looking up rotaries?
I'm looking to see what the actual name of it is because it's not a rotary.
It's rotary.
No, it's not.
It's a rotary. 69th Annual Shrine Maple Bowl is August 6th at Castleton University. Devin's playing in that.
Yep.
So that'll be pretty cool. So a local Newport kid playing in the Shrine Bowl. So
Found out that Kyle played in it.
Kyle, Big Kyle.
TJ Sussman?
Yep, Bull. Yep.
Bull? Yeah. Well, I called him Bull, and he's like, nobody calls him that. I'm like, well, that was easier to remember at the time, Bull over Kyle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm horrible with names.
Yeah.
Probably because I tell myself I'm horrible with names, and so I manifest it.
You manifest it. If you were
Yeah.
like, I'm great with names, you would be good with names.
When I used to golf, you would always get paired up with somebody if you didn't have a foursome. Because usually 4 is about the maximum they want you to play with.
Right.
And I would like sit there and repeat their name over and over again. And then by the time I sat down to write their name on the scorecard to remember it, I would have forgotten it. I mean, this is a problem I've had going back
Long time.
30 some odd years that I've been playing golf. Well, I haven't played in a few years, but
Yeah, well, as soon as we play at some point, which we need to, we'll take it to our woods with us, a.k.a. Amelia, who is a professional golfer now, we think. So, you see his new driver he got?
it's a nice driver.
It is. But that kid spends money. Like,
I was.
you give it
when
to
I
him, he
saw
spends
when I
it.
saw that driver, I asked him, I was like, "Is this year's model?" Because even when I golfed after college and my adult life, where I had a stream of income, I would buy last year's model.
I don't know what it was, but
Anyway, when he told me it was this year's model, I was like, "Well, it looks like you need to forego your football career and dedicate yourself to golf. You need to have a conversation with Tim and your mom about this because you're putting. I mean, this is an investment that you're making. You got 3 years. He could be really good if he practices as much as like he has been. Like it takes dedication.
the thing with Amelia is he gets into something, and it's actually kind of like me, but get into something for a while, you go like full send, right? Like Chief would say, and all of a sudden,
He's on to the next.
on to the next thing. So, like,
Yeah, well, I wasn't encouraging him to quit football, but I was like, if you really like it, and there's a way to figure it out, then you need to, figure it out. Like just
oh,
like
I'm sure it'd be good for
like
the golf
if you
team.
want to like try to get a college scholarship for anything, start going to school on time. Don't be tardy ever again for the next 3 years. So I was like, but you'll have more opportunities because
Let's
if
see you successfully drill that into his head.
No,
Because that one.
sometimes it's good coming from somebody outside.
Oh no! Yeah, absolutely. I don't
That's
have a problem
why
with it.
I stopped coaching because Zeta would always say, "I know," and I would get so frustrated because
Your
then
kids
everybody
are
else
like
is
that,
like, mimicking Zeta. I
Right.
have to like make her run laps and t-ball, smarting off to me.
Yeah. So I mean, he works. Like we don't like. So I said.
Yeah,
so-
it's his own money.
It's his money. It's not our money.
Yeah, but if you're spending that much money, like that's a lot of money to invest.
Yeah.
I used my graduation money from high school to buy golf clubs.
And then he's like, so I'm lefty, but I'm going to try the right-handed thing. But I'm not using that thing. I'm not using his new $350 club or whatever because no.
Because you'll take one swing
Yes,
at it,
I
pop
want-
it up,
yes.
and you'll scratch it, and it'll look.
Scratch it. I'll probably
Trashy.
bend it in half.
No, you won't bend it in half, but you'll
No,
get
I want-
underneath the ball, and then the ball will scrape the top of it.
Like, Millie, I want the junkest one you have because I'm going to
You
probably.
don't want the
give it-
junkiest. You want to use. I mean, he has some good clubs. He's collected.
He has this bag. He like begged his mom to stop because he saw it inside the road.
I think I
like,
saw that when I was on the side of the road.
"Hey." He
'Cause
said it ever
when,
since.
when he said that story, or Andrea told it, I was like, I think I know.
Could be.
I saw that golf bag because I kind of slowed down just as a golfer. I'm like, wait, what are they giving away?
We have to go at some point soon because he's on my case about it, and so I don't know. I'm busy. That's like honestly, it's just most of it, and then I've never golfed, and I'm worried like,
But you need to go to the driving range.
yeah, we really should do
You
that,
can't
too.
just go out and try to play because then we're going to slow everybody down. We're going to have to wave everybody through every hole, or we'll have to go a day where no one's out there. It's the slowest day. But you need to go to the range a few times before you go out and try to hit it on the course because you don't want to go out there and
So we better set this up
because there's like some rules that you got to go over. There's certain places where you can drive the cart, not drive the cart, and they're not like
Yeah,
they're not
that.
recommendations. They're pretty.
They're
Everybody
rules.
kind of sticks to the signage. If there's no signs or the
The other thing is I won't be able to wear a shirt like this.
no, you gotta have a collar. You have a collared shirt. I've seen you wear
Yeah, no, I do.
a few times.
Just
School board. You usually
top.
wear a
I do.
collared shirt when you come to the meetings.
Right. I respect. I don't wear this hat. I know like when to be me and when not to be me, or like
Well, no, yeah. When you say it like that, then it makes it sound like you're not authentic. But
well, I'm authentic, but I know what's
yeah.
appropriate when, and
you have some decorum.
yes, some.
I thought those were called roundabouts.
Yeah, there's roundabout, but rotary too.
Roundabout. A road junction in which traffic moves in one direction around a central island to reach one of the roads converging on it. A traffic circle.
Did you type in rotary? If what's that?
I
come up
did.
as?
Rotary is like the Rotary Club. I think that's a made up
Then that's a New Hampshire thing.
Rotary intersection. Let's see if it even comes up.
Yeah, see, comes up. It was a little weird though.
There's your
Traffic rotary. Sorry, we can't show you these things.
But I mean, that's basically a roundabout.
Rotary. All right, our last little bit of state news. So, you have regular TV here or no?
No.
So-
I don't do I don't watch TV.
No, I know you don't really watch
I can't
it,
stand
but-
commercials.
So here we go. Here's commercial. Okay. So for like 2 months now, we've already got Hassan ads coming up. Okay. So the only ads I've seen up till like the other day was she's bipartisan, which I have heard that about her. Okay. But and her big thing is lowering the cost of prescription drugs for elderly people or whatever for just people in general. That's her big thing, right? Now there's a new ad that she's the only standing up for ending the gas tax till the end of the year, the federal gas tax, which is 18 cents, I believe, which, woohoo.
She's going to save me
So-
$1.60.
Basically, the ad is like, we need her to help bring the gas prices down.
Or 360, sorry.
Well, her whole party is the reason the gas prices are high, and their policies on green energy and their anti-gas and oil industry policies. So I'm like, really? That's what you got to run on? Like, you would be better to pull something completely out of your ass to run off of than that.
Yeah, I would run on the whole.
And let's keep in mind the gas tax thing. It didn't happen. They didn't suspend it. But you want to run on the fact that you wanted to suspend it? You want to impress me? Why don't you go against some of these people that are in your party that are nuts, that think that men can have babies? Why don't you stand up to that? Oh, but you won't because you're spineless. You're an establishment Democrat.
Yeah. Pretty much any establishment politician is going to go with the party line.
Yeah, which is most of them. And I'll totally be fair
Both
with that.
sides.
That's why I said we need to get people in there that have never been there, that are not established like that. Because this is what you get.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is she the worst senator down there? No, of course not. She's not. But what is she doing for New Hampshire that's so great? You can't afford your electrical bill now that's now doubled as of this month. What does she do to help with that? I don't think anything. The gas tax, whoa, what a big savings that's going to be. Huge. 18 cents. But never happened. And then lower the cost of drugs. Like, I'm thinking of the medications I get every month, and I'm like, they're not lower.
No,
That's all just
if
BS.
you think about it from a, so you own your own business, you have still, technically you got this
Yeah.
new adventure you're on, or two new adventures that you're on. So you start your own business. Are you going to do anything like, so for in your line of business, you really don't want people calling you back, right? You want to like fix the problem and
yeah.
be good.
Fix it the
because
first
helps
time you're
your
done with it.
reputation.
Correct.
With pharmaceuticals,
Oh, yeah.
at large, they don't want you necessarily to get better.
No, absolutely no.
They treat symptoms, so they get you on these pills for symptoms of whatever's wrong with you.
Right.
And at the end of the day, eat healthy, exercise, get some sunlight. That's the best thing. And you don't hear, there's always a pill for something these days. And
Yeah, and then there's a pill for the pill that you just took that gave you side effects
Right.
to take this pill, and then take this pill, and then take this pill. It's
and
funny.
then, and then they after being on a pill for 20 years, they treat you like you're a pariah. And they're like, why have you been taking this? Well, the doctor that you replaced put me on it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And because I trust my doctor,
Yep.
I've been taking it. And then, and then they look down on you for taking some pill that was prescribed to you that you're like, well, I come to you for advice. I'm not the medical expert that you're supposed to be. So
Right.
I have issues with the certain aspects of the medical, industrial complex, basically, because that's what it is. I mean, you have all these people that are, getting COVID with no symptoms, but send out tweets or messages or saying that they're so thankful that they're, got so many whatever, and luckily that they do, or it might be a lot worse. It's like, well, if you say you have no symptoms, why'd you get tested?
Right.
That goes back to what I was saying the other day. I was like, this is the only time people have been duped, from my opinion, to go get tested because, you know what I mean? Like, just think about it. If you go into work and you got somebody there that's like your on-site medical examiner or whatever, and you're like, oh, I got a headache. And they're like, well, you need to go home and get tested. Like, well, I didn't finish my sentence. I woke up and the sun was in my eyes, or, I'm dehydrated because I worked all day in the yard Sunday, and I should have drank more water, but I really just need like an hour to hydrate and turn my lights off in my office. No, you need to go home and get tested for COVID. For a headache.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's probably why I haven't gotten it yet. I get a headache or muscle aches, and I'm like, oh, I could track that to not being hydrated or working out in the garden for 12 hours and coming in at 9:20 when it was dark. And
Like normal.
right. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the paradigm has shifted now to where everything is related to that. And it might be. I'm not saying it's definitely not, but I'm also saying like use some discernment. If your muscles ache and you ran a 5K and you haven't ever ran a 5K, then your muscles might be aching because you're sore, because you've worked your body harder than it's normal, than it's used to.
Right.
So your muscles are aching because you ran a 5K, not because you might have COVID. Right? You know what I mean? So like you just,
I know what you mean.
it just
You don't have
frustrates
to
me.
explain this to me. Trust me. All right, meme of the day, because we're running along on this whole like segment, like beginning part of the show, which is fine. But what if slugs are just divorced snails? Yeah, Michelle took the house. It's funny. I have another one too. Had a couple different things, but we're in the midst of the longest, saddest, most excruciating, and unsatisfying "I told you so" in the history of the world.
On many things.
Many, many, many things. I'm trying to move these because I got another one there to grab after. Maybe. There we go. Musk is still in the news. So now Twitter's going to sue him over backing out of the deal, which is funny as hell in one way because, and this kind of brings me to this meme, is they said I couldn't buy Twitter, then they wouldn't disclose bot info, now they want to force me to buy Twitter in court, and now they will have to disclose bot info in court. So you really wonder if this dude is just super
Trolling them?
super smart, and now can bring them to court and prove that they don't have nearly the people they have, or like this dude is the fiddle master and they're just puppets to I don't know, or he's the puppet master and they're just little puppets oh.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of different studies on how much social media influences people.
Probably too much.
Way too much.
Yeah.
It goes back to what we were talking about yesterday. Attention spans.
Yeah.
Like that's why we show memes up, because they're,
Right.
summarizations are not the whole topic. That's why
Right.
some people have issues with it, but the left can't meme.
No.
I mean, they could, but they don't
like
have as
share
good a
it.
sense of humor as
Yeah. So another little California story.
they have no sense of humor.
None. California residents now can sue gun companies. The governor has signed a new law in California allowing people to file lawsuits against companies that make guns.
Why can't you sue the entire family line of a person that goes on a rampage? That's what you should do.
Well, I don't. So in California,
I don't even believe that, by the way. I'm just saying, like, that's
No, I don't even
the
believe in any of
slippery
that.
slope that we're on.
no. But this third world
Each
country.
individual makes a decision. That's a decision that you made.
So here's the thing: if you live in California and they want to pass this law, that's fine. Oh, yeah, you can pass this law. So if you're a victim of like a 7-Eleven shooting the other day, then I would sue the governor for not allowing me to protect myself and making it so I had to jump through all these loopholes to
Right. Well,
own
that's
a gun to
that was
protect
the point
myself.
I was making. It's
Right.
a slippery slope. Like,
That
who-
violates my rights. So I would sue them for not providing the protection for me because,
We're a litigious country because
I hate
didn't we just
lawsuits,
talk
first
about
of
it
all.
a couple of weeks ago, being able to sue? What was that story?
you could sue anybody for anything.
No, she sued the insurance company because she
Oh,
got an
'cause she
STD
got-
in the
yeah,
back
yeah,
of the
yeah.
car, and so she wanted
And
this
won.
car.
She won.
Kind of on a technicality because they didn't reply, probably because their lawyer was like, "Yeah, right." I mean, I don't know the whole, but that's what it was. Was if you read
Yeah.
the whole thing, it's the insurance company had a set time to respond.
Right.
They didn't. And then when he awarded her the money from them, then they tried to respond, and he was like, "Too late now." So you know what I mean. So there's like some finer details in there to where then you got to ask, like, well,
Everything. That's another thing too. Probably everything in the country went to hell is when you could sue everybody for everything. When you could sue McDonald's because the coffee was hot and spilt on you.
did you ever watch a documentary on that? It was like allegedly like 193 degrees or whatever. It was like the hottest coffee known, and
In that one case,
but like she had like third-degree burns on her allegedly, or some thing I watched. Because I remember
okay, so that
like
one
SNL
case,
made a big joke. There was a lot of jokes about it at
Right.
the time.
But you know what I'm saying? It doesn't
But I'm with you.
matter.
Though. Like you knew the risk when you bought coffee. Coffee's hot.
It's become so ridiculous that, Steve, I could break in your house tonight, slip, fall, break my leg, and sue you because you had your coffee table in a place it shouldn't have been, and I would win. That is how ridiculous it is. But why were you in there? Well, I was going to rob him. But that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He didn't have
Yeah.
American with Disabilities Act compliant
Yes.
stripping on his door, so you tripped on it because it
Yeah.
was too high of a clearance. So, yeah, there's some craziness going on in this world. That's why I always say we're in the bizarro world.
Yeah. So here's another nice story in a Democrat-run cesspool, Chicago. 11-year-old tried to rob a. So here we go. 11-year-old boy charged with attempted armed carjacking in Chicago. So, first of all, it was 3:50 in the morning. He's 11 years old. So let's see. Lydia's 13, so 7th grade. He's in what? 6th grade? 5th or 6th grade? And he has a gun, first of all. A gun.
Well, I had a shotgun and a rifle when I was out.
Listen, you're from Texas. It's not even the same thing, okay? This dude's from just Chicago, okay? Now, again, Chicago with the highest, the most strict gun laws in the country. Yet an 11-year-old has a gun. And
At 3:50 in the morning.
yes. And this isn't the first time this has happened. I guess back in November of last year, that another 11-year-old accused of carjacking 2 women. So, but of course, and this is funny because 11-year-old is facing a felony charge of aggravated attempted vehicle hijacking with a firearm and will appear in juvenile court. And, okay.
Well, the parent.
First of all, when he becomes 18, even if they charge him with a felony, it won't matter because it will be expunged. He'll then be able to legally buy a gun because he will have no record because it was under 18. See, that is the one little loophole thing I don't like is your criminal record as a kid doesn't matter. So,
Yeah, but his parents should be charged as well.
Yes,
Aren't
his
they
parents
starting to
should be
change-
charged.
Aren't they starting to charge parents?
in this case, your kid is out at 3:50 in the morning and has a gun and is 11 years old. Yeah, that should be child abuse or some sort of neglect or
Yeah, well, this kid doesn't have, he needs, hopefully, some life lessons to be learned here.
But Steve, they're going to be like, see, this is why we need more gun laws because 11-year-olds can get guns. No, let's not ask where was the parent?
How did he get the
How
gun?
did he get a gun? Probably from the gang he's probably in or being initiated into or whatever. And then, why is Chicago like this?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Chicago. I've said it on the show several times.
I think I've become less and less of a fan of Chicago. Like, I love Chicago, the city, the nice part of Chicago. Like,
No, I've eaten in some
safe
good
part.
restaurants there.
Yeah.
I've been to the
Good
Navy
pizza.
Pier.
Navy Pier is beautiful,
Been to Wrigley.
but that's
I've no desire to ever go back. I didn't really even want to go there when I did. I mean, I did. Like, my buddy was getting married. But just the whole experience of going to Chicago.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Not like I didn't want to go to the wedding. I didn't want to go to the actual city.
yeah. I don't know.
And it's a big, sprawling city, too. It's not
Huge.
like...
It is. It's very
It's
big.
kind of like Houston in the sense of
Right.
it's 40 miles out and you're already in the city, even though you're not really in the city.
Yeah.
Traffic, tolls.
But so I'm saying, we don't have a gun problem. We have a criminal problem in this country, and
Yeah, it's just morals and values. Treating people with dignity and respect.
Yeah.
Having an opportunity to make a living for yourself.
so the criminal problem. So this
Right? So, like, because there's probably not a lot of opportunities there either.
So it's lack of opportunities why the kids are robbing people.
No. But I'm saying it all adds up. Like,
Yeah.
it boils down to morals and values.
Yes, that I agree 100%. So here's another
But there's
thing.
other contributing factors.
Yes. So
I'm not saying, use poverty as an excuse for everything to wipe everything away because of
yeah, no,
poverty.
no.
What I'm saying, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But, like,
Yeah.
people in cities are, like, packed in on top of each other. I could never live in a city.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that. No.
It's not my type of. There's people who like it. They like the, not being responsible for a yard and, you know,
Yeah, it's just not for everybody.
yeah,
There's nothing wrong if you live in a city.
yeah. It's not for me. Like
Yeah.
when I
Just like country living is not for some people either. Like, no, I'm good with that. I like being out to go to any restaurant I want that's within walking distance or taxis and all that. And like, I get it. So there's another. I didn't even put it on the list, but I want to. It just dawned on me about talking about Chicago, and now we'll go back to New York City, and we want to talk about criminal problems, but also not just criminal problems. We have rogue attorney generals and prosecutors, district attorneys, and just So apparently, you can be caught smuggling 165 pounds of meth in New York City and still get released. They let him out on bail. 165 pounds of meth.
Wow.
That's more than $1 million worth, they said. Yet, they're free on the street now because we're not hard on crime anymore. And then we blame everything else for it. And now we don't understand why crime rates are so high.
No, we do. This is all being done on purpose.
It's the Democrats are trying to destroy this country, and there's nothing you can argue all you want against it, saying that's not true, Tim. That's not true. Come sit in that chair. Let's have this conversation, because you tell me they're not trying to destroy the country by letting criminals go constantly, letting the border be wide open, destroy the oil and gas with no solution to it that would actually work. Explain that to me. Explain that to me.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, other than the fact that it seems like our society is devolving.
Yeah, at a rapid rate. Like, some of them should be like Dragon Knuckles and Before the Wheel cavemen at some point soon. Which, I'll skip this story and we'll go right to the next caveman knuckle dragging moronic story. So, and once again, luckily tomorrow we'll see John Lunn, and I ask him if I can't figure it out. But I just try and figure out how to freaking take
How to input video.
the videos, because I really want to play this.
It'd
video.
be nice if we could just sit here and know that the video is playing behind us, and
Yeah, or to even put it over us and we talk about it. Like, yeah, because then people could see the craziness. So, liberal law professor tells Republicans that he's transphobic in exchange that lowered the IQ of the entire room. So if you watch this, so Josh Hawley, Republican senator from
Howley.
Howley. Where's he from? Emma, which is Missouri. Yep. So there was a hearing, and he asked the woman.
She's a law professor or something like that. Right?
She's a law professor, okay? And he asked her, why are you using the term person with a capacity of pregnancy instead of woman? And then she says, your line of questioning is transphobic and opens trans people to violence. He says, so you're saying I'm opening people to violence by saying women can have pregnancies? And her response was yes. And then she went to say that, 1 out of 5 trans people have, tried to commit suicide and blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe then they should have their mental disorder looked at then. Because if 20% of them are suicidal at some point, maybe there's some more thing here. But once again, now you're transphobic because he's denying the existence of trans people because he doesn't say that men can have babies. Men can't have babies. I don't care what you want to say. Now, you could be a female with female organs and say, yes, I'm a male now, and have a baby, sure, but biologically you are still a female. Because it is impossible for a male with a penis to have a baby, them carry it, You don't have a uterus, you cannot have a baby. It's scientifically...
there was an article in People magazine 10, 15 years ago on the same topic, because they are like world's first birth by man or something. I don't know if you remember that, but it was...
something,
in the last couple of decades. And I remember there was a lot of flack given to People magazine over that, because it's crap.
It's
misleading, because not a man.
No, they're trying to pander to anybody and everybody, apparently, to get
I'm all about treating
something.
people with dignity and respect, and I think his point was, because I watched the thing, was they started arguing over the semantics, right?
Yeah.
But he was like, well, no. He's like, you're not saying women and trans men. You're saying birthing people. Like, his point
Right.
was, he wasn't denying that trans, at least
No,
the
he
way that
didn't.
I saw it, and we're all, we all have our own biases and everything else. But her thing was trying, the bigger thing here is not necessarily the conversation that they were having. Yes, that's going on in the world today, but it's saying that because I feel a certain way, or I'm like, yeah, I'm not, like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that's not how I was brought up. There's no.
See, I don't care what way you're brought up. I don't care
But
what you
let
believe.
me finish my point here. But the point was that they're trying to say that however you and I believe, if it's not in line with their way of thinking, that we're causing, individually, me and you are causing violence to people.
Yes. Yep.
Because it doesn't just apply in this case. They use it with anything.
Anything. Any
Like-
argument they can't
like-
defend.
Saying the numbers don't add up on the election, you're a terrorist.
Yep.
Saying I should have a say in my child's education, you're a terrorist, and you're promoting violence. And it's like, what? I just have an opinion that is factual, that I decide what my kids learn, and we can have a discussion as a community. And if I lose out, then I can make a choice. All right, well, I disagree with 55% of the community because 55% outweighs the 45%. Then it should. If that's how we're going to run things, then the 55% make up the. They do it, right? They tell us, all right, this is what we voted on. You might not agree with it, so then you have a choice to make. Do I continue to send my kid
Right.
to this school, or do I go buy or get a voucher or whatever, get
Right.
into the private school?
Right.
You can make a decision. They're making it sound like you don't get to have a decision. You will do this. You will like it. You will change your line of thinking to accommodate us versus
Right.
let's all get along and you can do your little society over there with your things away from me within reason, right? Like I disagree that adults should be putting on shows for kids that are sexually explicit, no matter what, hetero, whatever. Like, it's like, leave kids alone. Let them go out and play in the dirt and play make believe, and let them grow up with good morals and values. That's at the end of the day. But that's my whole take on it. Is they want to silence our ability to have our own opinion. You have to have their opinion, and it goes back to what I told you before. There's two types of people. You can either govern yourselves, or you need someone smarter than you to tell you how to live. And that's what they're doing here. Is they're trying to tell us how to speak, what we have to believe, and it doesn't matter what the topic is. You're not going to tell me what to do. I'll form my own opinions. I have my own upbringing, my own morals and values that's important to my family name, right? Because we all, like, I always didn't want to embarrass my mom and dad. At the end of the day, like, would I do or say this in front of my mom? And obviously we all make mistakes, and we're jackwagons and everything else. But yeah, you're not going to tell me how to think and how to believe. It's just, I did that when I was in the Army.
Right. Not done that anymore. So then it just brings up a meme that's perfect for this story is they want to remove the word mom and replace it with birthing people. We live, no lie, the stupidest decade that has ever been since time. True freaking story. No, it's not It's not Mother's Day anymore. It's Birthing Person's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
So you're going to demonize the word mom for birthing people, but
Yes.
there's all kind of.
Yeah. Good times. All right. Last story. I'll skip this other one for tomorrow. So, Biden scoffs at doubters, says Dems want him to run in 2024. So there was a reporter that asked him, because people are saying they don't want him obviously to run in 2024. And he's like, So he pushed back, President Biden pushed back against the speculation that Democrats wanting him to step aside at the end of the term in January 2025, claiming that plenty of inter-party support. He's claiming he has inter-party support for a re-election bid. And he said, read the polls. You, reporters, are all the same. That polls show that 92% of Democrats, if I ran, would vote for me. Did you not see the poll where, like, it was like 85% of the people, I think, now in the country are not liking the direction the country's going? Like,
yeah, but I saw one that basically, among Democrats, he still has a decent rating according to one poll that I saw, like internal Democratic polling.
So then Elon Musk had said that Ron DeSantis could run against Biden, not even campaign and win.
Did he say that?
Yes, he did. That's true. Yeah, I don't know. Just like, what the hell, Like, just this dude don't even know where he is. He seriously has no clue where he is. Trying to find it.
Yeah, this has got to be. It rose 39% compared to the 30. So it's up to 39. It was at 36%. So this is approval ratings across the board. But it says for Democrats, let's see.
Wait, it says it rose?
From 36 to 39 somehow in the last week.
Would they do poll the same person 3 or 4 times?
Yeah, so Democrats last week gave Biden a 69% approval rating, but that rose to 74% this week, according to this poll.
Yeah, that tells you what people, yeah.
Still, the poll found that 55% of all respondents do not approve of Biden's job as president, and just 12% of Republicans give the president a thumbs up.
I have a hard time believing that, too.
Saying it's because of the monthly jobs report.
Oh, because we have jobs. We have the highest inflation in 40 years. Gas prices that we've never seen before, but
We created more jobs in a quarter under any of my predecessors in the nearly 40 years before the pandemic.
yeah, because the pandemic cost how many people their jobs?
Well,
yeah, had no way you could go, but
it was like 12% at its highest unemployment rate. And then I read something somewhere. You can look at all this data up. It's findable out there, but it's like 5 to 7% of people just gave up looking for jobs.
Yeah, I was seeing something the other day.
It's got to be higher than that, though. That's the number is like 5 to 7%.
Because that's the problem.
Back into the workforce,
right? And so when they take those poll numbers or those data numbers about jobs added and all that and percentage, they contribute the fact in that people like retiring and all that, or people that are 20 years old and just decided I don't need a job, so they just take them out. So the numbers are such crap because think about it, every place in Newport is hiring right now.
Yeah,
but our unemployment number is
2.1%.
Right.
Or whatever.
How is that possible? It's not. So unless all these people moved away,
stop using common sense and logic and reason. There's some other thing that you're not smart enough to know about, Tim. There's probably somebody out there more educated than you that can explain that to you. I mean, you're looking at it from such a simplistic way that...
That's true. That liberal college professor probably could school me on this stuff. The one that thinks that men with penises can have babies. Yeah.
Well, that's not what she was saying. She was saying that, I mean, they can't have... They don't.
According to her world.
That's how it comes across. But what she's trying to say, she was using that because if you watch it, she was up there because she's a lawyer, so she was asking questions back and getting her point across. Just because usually they're sitting there and they're supposed to be answering questions, but she was asking him questions. She got fired up about it, but it was to make a political point that if you don't accept their language, you're committing violence against people.
Yeah, apparently.
So now you're committing violence just by your own thoughts.
Yeah, because they want.
So instead of having a discussion about it, right? Like he's trying to discuss with her, like, well, what exactly do you mean? Are you discounting traditional women? She was like, well, you're creating violence against people. And he's like, how? I'm asking you questions. Like, that's the whole point. The whole point was
he's not allowed to ask
try
questions.
to convince people that now your thoughts are basically violent. So no longer is physical violence or, you know, I don't know. It's all a scam to get people riled up about this, that, or the other when we need to be focusing on improving the country, opening back up our natural gas and natural resources to our own citizens, not sending them off to anywhere else.
So
Need to make sure that, because if you go back and you watch after every election since 2020, whoever loses always says that they're suspect of the voting, like on the national level for the most part.
you mean since
President.
2016?
No, since 2020 when
Oh.
Bush beat Gore because of the dangling chads.
Not 2020.
I mean, yeah, 2000.
See, that's why you
sorry.
get me all confused up. Okay.
2000.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
2000.
Yes.
I apologize.
Now, if they lose, they try to say, yeah. Careful what you're saying. You could be labeled as
Thank
terrorists.
you. Words are important.
They
Might
are.
be committing violence here.
Yes. All right. This is my positive mood day, which not necessarily positive. It is positive for me. If people flying the American flag in America triggers you, you're in the wrong country.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you don't like
should
the
be
American
proud
flag.
of your own country. Yeah, we have bad things happen. I mean, I served in the military because I believe that our country is good, that our country has a strong moral foundation to it.
Foundation, yeah. Yes.
But there are
100%.
bad things. I mean, the experiments that our own government has done that's documented. The Tuskegee Airmen. CIA allegedly had, LSD experiments that they did on people. This is all found in government documents. This isn't some conspiracy that Steve-O decided to make up this morning and just start saying things. But I knew this at the time that I joined the military. Like I've known that we've had warts and all. I mean, we had slavery, we had all kinds of things, but that doesn't mean that we don't keep improving and moving forward. Now, pretending that mine and your thoughts are hurting people,
Yeah, that's the next thing.
because that's not like our intent. Like I don't think you and I, if we met a trans male that was sitting here saying that they're pregnant, like we're not angry at them. We disagree with what their terminology is. Like, no, you're still biologically a female. If we were to check your DNA, just like you've said before, if your bones are found 300 years from now, the anthropologists, archaeologists, whoever finds them, whenever they study them in a lab, based on your hip and muscle or your bone structure,
X and Y chromosomes.
well, yeah, if they have DNA test.
Yeah.
So
X,
it's. I'm not angry at anybody. It's a different. Like I'm not going to participate in that side of. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like they have their
If you're not gonna
lifestyle.
participate.
I don't have to be involved in it.
You're inciting violence.
No.
Oh, yeah. Can't ask questions. Don't do it.
Hey, at the end of the day, treat everybody with dignity and respect. That's all any of us want. Even the people that we disagree with.
Even the people that don't have dignity. So, we have shooting.
I look
tonight.
at it as a personal,
Yeah. We have
Yeah.
shooting league tonight.
your own personal values. What's important to you?
Shooting league tonight.
Yep.
Rob coming?
I don't know.
I haven't seen Rob in a while.
I think he's working on stuff.
Nice. You ready to sponsor the show yet? Less and less every day. Speaking of our sponsors, thank you, Twin State Paving and Wicked Awesome Adventures. If you want to set up a trip for for the fall or winter, or next week, whatever, reach out to Chrissy Kibbe. She will hook you up and get out and enjoy your life. That's for sure.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
While you're still legally able to.
Yeah, while you can afford it. I mean, I filled up my gas cans for the lawnmower, and it was $80-something.
Crazy.
$80 to mow my own yard.
Good news is Maggie Hassan's doing so much to help that. So
Well, it'll save me $3.60 if it's 20 gallons. But I was 17 gallons, I think, that I got.
damn.
3 5-gallon jugs and a 2-gallon.
You could save $3 at the gas pump if you could go back 2020 all over again.
Save more than that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
Depending.
saying $3 a gallon.
A gallon, yeah. A gallon. Yeah.
Yeah, at one point it dropped below $2 since I lived
Yeah.
here. In 2018 when I moved here, I was like, holy cow.
I saw the gas at Yoshi's the other day. It was $4.59. I'm like, oh, whew, it's dropped crazy. Must be because we sent all that oil overseas that was ours. That,
That means you can get, what, 11 gallons at Yoshi's when it's that much? 10 and a half gallons? They always cut me off at $50 at Yoshi's.
Yeah. All right. So tomorrow, school board. I don't know. We'll see you tomorrow. Figure out what else is going on tomorrow. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.